Good morning, this is Sandra with Sandra Torno Art. Today I want to do an experiment on a smaller scale to hopefully make it work so that I can do it on a larger scale. So what I've done is I've taken some medical exam paper, which I actually use a lot for my jelly printing, and I cut out a simplistic animal face, and I put some, or tore out some little edges I'm going to use for the body, and then just tore out like a little top scene of a sky or a mountain. I'm using 4 colors. I'm using alizarin crimson watercolor, cobalt teal blue, cadmium yellow deep, and quinacridone burnt orange. 3 are Daniel Smith, and 1 is Holbein. I put some in my cups, just a dab, just like you would on your palette. And I took my pipette, some clean water, put in there and just mixed them up. So I have 4 separate cups of those colors. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put these over here because I know what's going to happen. I am going to spill them. I've cut 2 jars of clean water, and I've got my watercolor block. It's 140-pound Artistico Extra White. So I've got my flat brush, and I've got a big, thick round that holds a lot of water. So what I'm going to start doing is wetting my paper. You use a lot of water. So what this is going to do is actually going to cause a resist, kind of like you would get with candle wax or saran wrap. But I'm trying to do an abstract. So I'm going to spray some water on my medical exam paper, and I want to crunch it up. It's not really wanting to crunch up. I want some wrinkles in it. We'll see how it goes. I've seen this used with wax paper, but I didn't have any, so I thought, well, I use medical exam paper or deli paper for my jelly print, so let's see how this goes. So I want to make sure that's good and wet. And there's a lot of tilting, so I have these rags and I just put a couple down underneath. So first I'm going to take my blue and I'm going to just pour some on and let it run. And it should run underneath. want this to stay pretty flat. You just want it real watery. And of course, you would want to use some complementary colors. That was a little bit too much. See if we can move it around here. You want gravity to be your friend here. This is the alizarin, or this was the quinacridone burnt orange. Paper's kind of drying there, so it wasn't going anywhere. So you can see what's happening here as the paper's getting wetter. The paint's going up under that medical exam paper. And that's what we want. I do still have a dry spot there. I love this turquoise. use a lot of water. So one thing I'm going to do here is I want to get some heavy contrast around the edges. And remember that watercolor dries about 10 to 15% lighter, so you definitely want some heavy colors around the edges. And if they start sticking up, you can just push them down. And what I could do is I could spray if I feel like I got too heavy in one area. I'm going to lift this up. I'm going to move this over just a little bit and put a little bit of this cobalt teal, a little bit thicker, no water, on my glass mat. get a thicker color contrast of this turquoise around the objects that I want to really stand out. But I want to use a thicker color of paint because I don't want it to really bloom out. So what I just did there was a no-no in my opinion. I just put blue and red and it made a brown, which I don't mind a little bit, but I picked up the wrong color. And that's one reason why you want to use complementary colors. Like the blue and yellow will make green. So I'm just going to keep going until I feel like I've got enough. And I may give it a squirt to get it to run. I think I'm going to use a little bit of this quinacridone gold, or quinacridone burnt orange for a little thicker color in here. And what I'm going to do is let this dry on its own. And then I'll come back and pull this off and show you the next step. A lot of water. Just layers and layers of paint. Just put a little bit more on this side. It was like it all ran off. But it's like you put it on, you take it off, and then you let it run. So right here, it looks like I have some unmixed paint. So I'm just going to touch that up a little bit. I'm in the process of getting some ideas on a larger abstract for a show I have in January. And this is like my little study of what I'm hoping will work. We'll find out together. So right here I have some air bubbles under there, and I'm just trying to push those down so we get some texture in there. I'm going to set this up for just a minute, see if there's any more contrast that I want to put on there. I may put a little bit more turquoise. Here and there. See, that really lightened up, so I need to put a darker color there. You may hear thunder. It's coming a pretty big thunderstorm here today. I'm hoping you can hear me better. I bought a new microphone I'm trying out today too. My other one just wasn't doing very well at all. It just needed to be replaced. And I was having to do a lot of voiceovers because of it. And I don't really like to do voiceovers, so. Okay, I think I'm to the point. I'm just going to let this dry. And then we'll go to the next step one more time, just because I love it. So what has happened here, which I really like, I'm going to see if I can make it happen over here. The turquoise went up underneath that paper and made some very cool colors. Okay, I'm just going to go with this for right now and see how this works. It may be a complete fail. So I'm going to lay this flat. Go one more time around for contrast, but then I'm going to leave it laying flat and leave it alone. Let it dry, and then I'll be back. Now, if you don't have a block, I would suggest using or taping your paper down. This is 140 pound, and I'm not really doing brush strokes. It's a lot of water, but I'm not doing brush strokes, so it should be fine. But you wouldn't want to use this much water and do brush strokes. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like there. I say that every time, and then I'm like, oh, I need to get the excess water off. Nope, I should have left it alone. Dang it. Okay, I'm gonna put it back, and I'm gonna leave it alone. It'll just take it a little bit longer to. You know what I could do? I could splatter some. See what that does. Hadn't thought of that. Splattering's always fun. It might turn out pretty cool. We'll see. I'll either know to do it next time, or not. Since we have complementary colors, it should be fine. And I got so much water in my watercolors, you don't need to add any. That's why I like a glass mat. You can just wipe it up. So right here, I have got a lot of water, so I'm going to try to sup it up. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. I think that's going to be good. I'll be back as soon as it dries, and I'll let you know how long it took. So I ended up, I cleaned out my watercolor dishes. I ended up drying it with a hair dryer, which was fine, but like I told you, the color dries back really light. And I probably should have stopped and instead of keep adding color. And getting it wetter and wetter. But now I'm taking it just straight out of the tube, the turquoise. I'm not going to add any water. I just want to get some darker contrast around these objects, because otherwise they're not going to stand out. So we're going to try this. It dried really well with the hair dryer. I was shocked. We'll see. Now I'm just going to take some wet water and very gently smooth these edges out, but not the edge of the paper, not the edge near the edge of the paper. I want that dark. So because I like turquoise, I don't mind it being the main contrasting color. But don't rub too hard, you'll take off the paint underneath. I don't want to lose all that, so I'm just trying to get some of it up. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I was shocked the hairdryer worked. Okay, I am going to dry it with the hairdryer. again, and then we'll come back and take it off. Okay, it's time to see what we got. We'll just go for the bigger one first. I dried it again with the hair dryer. I wanted to show you, when I dried it with the hair dryer, you see all this, like, almost a salt effect. The heat from the hair dryer on the paper actually made that on the paper, which, if you look under here, you're getting the texture of that as well. Now, if I'd have let this dry by itself, I don't know if I'd have got that. But see all the paint that's up under here that's caused this great texture? It's exactly what I was wanting. Just go slow, because if you tear the paper, then you're going to have to get the edges off without a larger piece of paper. I'm going to lose the ears, I think, but that's okay. I can get them with some tweezers. It almost looks like a tapestry. How cool is that? Let's see if I just... The paper's underneath the paper is still a little bit damp, so it's not too hard to get off. And I don't think that's paper. I think it's where the paint went up underneath that, which is fine. So see the crinkles of the paper, I just love it. Put the darker colors, and by putting that dark turquoise around, now I would recommend this. Don't let it dry completely. Leave it just a little bit wet so you can peel this off. Because the drier it gets, the harder it is to, it's going to be like cement. But I just love how it looks like a tapestry under there. What do y'all think? Ooh, that's really wet. That one was really wet. I didn't dry that one very well. And I think that is paint, not paper. So that one's going to be a little darker, but that's okay. This was the main focus. Now let's see about this. That is really dry. Turn it around. It's really weird that most of them came off just fine, and then some of them are really being stubborn. So if I'd have done this with wax paper, would it have been better? I don't know. I'll probably try it, but this wasn't bad. And like I said, this is the medical exam paper that I do my jelly prints with, which works perfect. But yeah. So when I originally thought of this, I thought I would, I don't want to make it realistic because it's supposed to be an abstract, but I thought I would paint eyes or a nose or something to make it look like something, a little bit of realism. But you know what? I don't think I am. I think I like it just the way it is because it looks like tapestry, and if I start drawing on top of it, it's just gonna mess it up. But I think that is so cool. Now this, I wished was lighter. So what I may do is try to take off some of this wetness. I'm going to shoot it with a hairdryer real quick. Okay, I'm thoroughly pleased. It's completely dry. Now, you could, but see what I meant? Let me back up a minute. You need the contrast because this is going to be lighter. The paint seeps under, the creases in the paper cause the thicker lines. And I'm not sure if this came from hair drying the paper or if it was just from the paint seeping under there, but I love it. Got the turquoise on the edges. I just love it. I absolutely love it. So to me, this was definitely a win. And like I said, I was going to do an outline of eyes or a nose, but you know what? I'm not. I'm not. You know that is an animal because it has 2 ears. So I'm going to get my palette knife here and I'm going to take this off. Let's see what we got. It's almost off anyway. Let me move all my junk here. So what my reasoning was here, I wanted it to look kind of like he was in the bushes or like a couple of leaves. This could represent a sky. And I said he, it could be a she. I'm just saying. But I like how when I did the darker contrast, I just blended out the edges, but you still get all these colors. You got some hard edges. You got some soft edges. I just think it's gorgeous. I really do. Tell me what you think. And if you're going to give it a try. I mean, this could be a mountain in the background. It could be a sky. It could be whatever you want it to be. Thank y'all so much for joining me. If you like my channel, give it a thumbs up. I will list the colors that I use down below, but I'm going to tell you from this point forward, I'm not doing Amazon links. It's a pain. It's a pain for you. It's a pain for me. I'll list the colors. You can find what you need. How can you support my channel? There's a couple of ways. You can give me a review. There's a review link below. You can subscribe to help me grow my channel. You can buy me a coffee. There's a PayPal link below. $2, just enough to buy paper or paint to keep doing videos. And that's it. I'm not doing Amazon links. I know it's annoying for me, and I'm sure it's annoying for you. And yeah, so I'm really tickled to try a bigger piece on this. And this was cold press paper, so it had some texture. But I have a larger piece of hot press paper, and I definitely want to give this a try on that. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know. Sorry, my mess is here. These are washable. I wanted to show you these. And again, I'm not selling anything for commissions, for affiliate links, but these are so cool. So you can buy these, and it's a roll like paper towels, but they're cloth, and you can tear them off, and then you can wash them and reuse them. And they work great for wipe ups or catch strips on watercolor. And I'm not going to waste that. I will do some little something off camera on that. But thank you so much, and we'll see you soon. Bye now. So I wanted to show you what I had done. I had some paint left over on my last, well, it's this video, but from the last painting that I did. So I took what was left and I added a little bit of the cadmium yellow and the crimson, and I painted a sky and made it kind of a sunset, did some of the turquoise, cobalt teal blue up here, made some clouds, brought in some reds and yellows and made some oranges, put some more yellows and oranges down here, darker, and then just did the teal and cadmium yellow to make a green and made some grass. And then I do greeting cards all the time. So I have a lot of these tags and different things. And I found this one, it says you and me together forever. So now you've got just a cute little card made from leftover paint. Very simple. You could do some cold wax on top if you wanted to. I probably will. Then I just take my greeting cards, and they can go either way. This is an A2 size, and you can glue it on top, or you could put a different color behind it. I actually had some pink I was thinking about cutting and putting behind it, and gluing it on there. And you've got a greeting card that you could send to someone just to tell them, and you could write something on here. I just happened to have the frame and used it. Or you could do, you know, anything that you've got around in your craft room to make a nice little greeting card, and you don't waste your paint. So that's what I did. Just wanted to show you that real quick before I signed off again. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.